Hello, fellow Fumblers, and welcome to another episode of the Film Fumblers Show, the podcast where a few friends fumble through your favorite films. Today, we are reviewing The Batman, movie released in 2022 and directed by Matt Reeves. So without further ado, my name is Adrian.
I'm Taryn.
What's up? It's James. It's been about a month. Welcome back,
What was
boys.
the last episode? I don't even remember.
Come on, and I wasn't even on that
Oh,
episode.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Come on. That was a good one.
Jesus Christ.
It's well, Taryn here got COVID. Adrian was gone on
No one
vacation.
needed to know that, but
I mean, well,
Is this something to be ashamed of?
No.
it's gonna
I'm just
happen,
kidding. Yeah.
probably, more than
gonna
likely.
I feel like I've had COVID.
yeah.
I just was asymptomatic. Like at this point, like how did I go like 2 years not getting it? I don't know.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Had to
Yeah,
have
I mean,
had it.
okay, so
Wasn't that
I got
bad,
COVID
though?
too, Taryn, so it's all good. We're all
Wasn't that bad because
friends
I'm
here.
fucking vaxxed, dude. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're vaxxed and
Boosted.
you're relaxed, and we're back, baby.
Hell yeah.
We're
Vaxxed and
back.
relaxed.
We're back with the Batman.
Oh.
so.
The Batman. Okay, let's just jump right in. We're not shooting, but cheers.
Yeah, well, cheers. I got a
cheers to this
makeshift
one,
gin and
guys.
tonic here, so.
Cheers.
Wow.
Great.
Robert Pattinson
Mm-hmm.
as Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Just start off there. What do you guys think? Okay, so that was kind of the thing. I think a lot of people who don't really know, Robert Pattinson's career, they only think like Twilight, right? Like how are they putting the guy from Twilight into the Batman? Robert Pattinson has more than proved himself after
Oh,
Twilight.
God,
Like
he's
we all know
amazing.
that,
Yeah.
but like there's a lot of people that don't know that. And
Yeah.
I have so much respect for Robert Pattinson as an actor. He's
Mhm.
phenomenal. He's
Yeah.
amazing.
I saw a tweet that was
So I just want to open up and say that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I saw a tweet that was like, since when is it more prestigious to play Batman than some like vampire or something? It's like they're both equally goofy shit.
I guess
They
that's
are.
true.
That's what's weird about like this whole thing. It's like this kind of honor to become the Batman, and why is that such a thing, and why is it so hard to find someone who fits the role? Okay, so you're gonna start this by saying Robert Pattinson deserves his flowers, but I'm gonna take it back and say he didn't do anything that was fucking awesome like he usually does. And I thought
Yeah.
his performance was fine enough, but I wasn't like 100% in. That's just my
Yeah.
kind
No,
of feeling overall.
and like I completely agree, but I don't think that was anything of Pattinson's own fault, right? Like that was the direction I think that Matt Reeves chose to go towards with this one. So
It's
like
also
this
just
is
Batman,
that.
right? Like he's just so reserved and like not bombastic. Like the acting part of it is such a different beast.
because like okay, with when people are talking about like actors playing Batman, it's a two-sided conversation, right? They're like, how is he as Batman and how is he as Bruce Wayne?
Yeah.
Like usually it's like this person was a great Batman, not a great Bruce Wayne, or vice versa.
Yeah. Same
This
with
was-
Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Yeah, right. Peter
Yeah.
Parker. Yeah.
the two
So
most
this
popular
was-
superheroes ever.
This
By the way.
I feel like this was the most one-dimensional Batman Bruce Wayne that we've ever seen. And that like just really didn't sit well with me. It felt like Pattinson was the same person in and out of the suit. But and that's like what Matt Reeves was going for. But like it felt off. It just didn't feel like it
Yeah.
worked.
Actually-
Like I'm so used to seeing like Bruce Wayne being this like charismatic billionaire who's like at these fancy cocktail parties and just it just felt like he was just sad in and out of the suit, and it's just like where's the depth? I don't know. It didn't feel like it had
I
depth.
actually agree, but I really liked his Bruce Wayne a lot more than the Batman part of it, I guess. Like
Okay.
that's what, even watching, I was like, how do these people not realize that this man is Bruce Wayne? Like,
Yeah,
the same
yeah.
guy.
It's like obviously,
Yeah.
just like look at his face, man. Just look at him. Just stare at him for like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
You'll figure it out. But okay, so I agree generally with what you guys are saying, but I saw a really good take that basically because he plays such a recluse Bruce Wayne, is that like that was the reason like for the entire failure of like the system overall, because like they were using his family's money because he wasn't like paying attention to it, you know?
Yeah, he wasn't like
And
into
I
that side
and I
of it.
was thinking that could be like a good character arc maybe for a second Pattinson movie, but
Yeah,
I
that's the
don't
other
know.
thing is this is his second year of being Batman, so he hasn't had a lot of time to develop the two sides of him. You know what I mean? That's what
Yeah.
I love the most about this movie is that it's like a
Okay.
young
Yeah,
Batman.
Mm.
That's so fucking cool.
that
Yeah.
is true. I guess I didn't think too much about like the timeline and like how long he's been, because it did
Yeah.
mention that quite a bit actually. Now that I think about it in the beginning,
Hmm.
that he hadn't been Batman for long.
And he didn't like care about, and the fact that he didn't care about what was happening to his personal life as Bruce Wayne was the very same reason why he had to be the Batman. If he just paid attention a little bit more to his real life, Batman wouldn't need to exist, right? Is basically what like the whole
I mean,
overarching idea
yeah,
was.
it's just most Batman stories. It feels like Batman is his real self. Like, you know what I mean? Like Bruce Wayne is like
Yeah.
his character that he plays to impress people and stuff, but Batman is actually who he is.
Yeah, and see, fuck
Mm,
up. This is
yeah,
why I wish Matt was here, because he's like the resident Batman fucking lover.
Dude,
And he would have like schooled us.
I
He would
fucking
have put
love
his
Batman, dude.
podcast.
yeah,
He would have like
So that's the thing. I don't know if it was before or after they announced this movie, but I really
Mhm.
got into Batman randomly. Like I
Oh,
watched
did
all
you?
of the
Oh,
animated
so you're a
series,
guy too.
and I
Okay.
read like a bunch of the or not a bunch, like a few of the comics, and one of them that this one is not like based on, but like very inspired by is the Long Halloween, where it's like definitely like a murder mystery. Like they're trying to figure out it has all the mobsters in it and stuff. Like
hmm,
Yeah.
that shit is like top tier Batman stuff, and I feel like that being incorporated into this movie is why I like it so much too. Like
Okay. Yeah.
it's a lot
And
more
see, I feel like
backstory for me personally, I guess.
that's where like me and Adrian are coming from. Like we don't have the context of, I guess, the comic book inspiration. So
yeah,
we're viewing it. I don't know. Maybe we're coming in without the bias of like everything. We're just gotta
yeah.
look at it
Well,
from a movie standpoint,
yeah. I
you
mean,
know?
I've seen like all of the Christian Bale Batmans, and then I think as a kid, some of the Michael Keaton, like I
Yeah.
like vaguely remember that. I remember being really obsessed with Batman as a little kid, but I haven't seen those ones as an adult. But the most recent, I guess, like context I have for Batman is Gotham, the show. Have you guys seen that show?
Oh,
Have you heard
okay.
of it,
I heard it wasn't
James?
great,
No.
or I guess
So okay,
gets not as good later,
it
like what you were
gets
saying.
terrible. Like they completely jumped the shark at like I can't remember what season it is, but it gets like really bad. But the first season, maybe two seasons, are like really good. So the premise of the show is that it's the first episode, spoiler alert, is Bruce Wayne's parents die. And that's how like, we kind of are always introduced to Batman, but it
Yeah,
doesn't
Yeah.
just cut to him being Batman. He stays a child. And like it
Mm.
starts out as like, Commissioner Gordon like getting the like becoming the commissioner and like kind of going through that. He's
Yeah.
a kid throughout the entire show,
oh wow,
and you get to see all of the villains in their adolescent, right? Like younger villains kind of like coming up into power. And so it gives a lot of cool context with that, and like that really made me appreciate like just Batman's villains specifically. And that's what I think that they do so well in the Batman universe is their villains are so complex and they're not like one dimensional. And yeah, I don't know. So I do love Batman, and with this one I was just like, I don't know. Let's just jump right into the Riddler, I guess. Like, what did you guys feel about the Riddler, about the actor's performance, and just about like how it was written and
I thought it
yeah,
was a really cool take on the Riddler, like a more like fucked up like
right. Because it wasn't like the Riddler, like I think we come to think of,
Jim
right?
Carrey fucking green screen
Yeah,
kind of shit. Yeah,
And like he kind of devolved into like the cheesiness of that. Like
yeah.
towards the end, like
yeah.
when he was like, no, no, no. He was
When
like
his prison
saying shit.
scene
I
was
was like, what is
dumb.
weird? Yeah, the prison scene was weird. The
Yeah.
motivation, like, I don't know. I feel like we've been seeing like I've been saying like with the Black Panther bad guys, like where these guys have general good motivations, right? He's like
Yeah,
trying
he's
to
not
Knowing
really a
out.
about
bad
it
guy.
wrong and
He's like
shit.
not that bad of a guy,
Yeah.
even though he's like a
Yeah,
bad guy, you know?
right.
And like I feel like that was one thing that kind of disappointed me with this one is like once again another fucking villain that you have to like sort of agree with. Like I'm like, okay, all right, I get it, I guess. And then just his acting was okay until it got kind of weird towards the end.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
fine until it
Um,
wasn't.
yeah,
Yeah. Um, I don't know. The whole at the end where it's like, or not actually, what I was gonna say about all that is like, I was waiting for some twist or something like he's someone's son or some weird shit. Like, I don't know. And then it just kind of never
Just a
happened. And I
guy.
was like, kind of
yeah,
confused. I was like, wait, what is he trying to do? Like,
yeah,
corruption. It's there's so much corruption. I'm like, okay, but like, I don't know.
yeah,
It didn't like
Yeah,
fully
and it
come
kind of
together.
like feels like it let you up to that, right? It was just like, who done it? Like, oh my God, who is the
yeah,
Riddler? Who's the killer? And then it's just some guy, and you're just like,
yeah.
okay, like,
Yeah.
I guess
And
it's
it
him.
and it was strange because like, every time, sorry, my dog's upset with me. Can you hear her
Just
growling at
defending the
me?
Riddler.
She's crying. Uh, um, yeah. Sorry, I just got sidetracked. What I'm saying.
What were you saying about the Riddler? Um,
Every time like something was revealed, it felt like so unfounded and out of left field. Like like they like built up like all this stuff with like the ciphers and stuff, and then it just was like some weird random thing that happened like quickly. Like the
hmm.
URL, the thing was like so
Oh, right.
fucking random in left field. Like it was just so weird to me.
I like
Yeah,
that one because Bruce Wayne or Batman got it wrong the first time. You know what I mean? Like he's still like starting out. You know, I don't know. He got it wrong, and
yeah,
then like, oh fuck, is actually this? Like that was like kind of cool. I thought
yeah. I
because
mean,
I was expecting to just be like, oh, okay, he's right about all this shit, and then like
right.
yeah, once it's revealed, like oh shit, it's something else. It's like
Well, and
that was
then
cool.
yeah, like there was how many misdirections for the whole like rat with wings? Because there was
Yeah,
like
like right away I was like, oh, Bat,
Batman, and then
and then they didn't
yeah,
realize
and then
that
the
until
other one
so
was Falcone, right? Like Falcon, and then
Penguin.
Penguin. Yeah, it was just like,
It's like,
okay, there's a lot
damn,
of
there's a lot
fucking
of
birds in
birds.
this
Yeah.
universe.
Yeah.
Like, how
That
many
was
birds do we need? Um, yeah, no, I get what James is saying though. It did kind of feel, a little bit unfounded. Because like and that's the thing is I hate to have to compare it constantly to like other things but like from Gotham, the Riddler in Gotham is like he's one of my favorite characters because like he's just like this nerdy office guy who like is kind of unsuspecting and like he starts asking like his kind of character is just about like just making up little cool riddles, right? For people to, he's just like the office guy or whatever. And then he kind of like devolves into this like ridiculous, insane murderer. And I don't know, this movie didn't have time to kind of really go into that, but it feels like it maybe should have because it was so long. Like it was just it was so long and just paced so terribly. I don't know.
Really? I
I was so bored. Like I
I
was like
loved
I
how
was
slow it
fighting for my
was. I don't
life to
know.
stay alive or to stay awake. Like I was
Yeah.
like, fuck.
So going back to what I was gonna as okay, so we had like this crazy windstorm here in Albuquerque, and my allergies were like totally fucked up, and so my
Mm,
eyes were like hurting really bad, and that whole movie was fucking dark, and then they would flash a light into the camera, and it was like
yeah.
I couldn't see, and my eyes were like literally burning, and I was like trying to like, and I was just like trying not to fall asleep, and then I was like, oh my God, I'm getting blinded. I was like, but I need to close my eyes because it's fucking shining light in my
You're
eyes,
like,
dude.
damn, closing my eyes feels really good right now.
Yeah, and then I was like,
Yeah.
okay, let me just close my eyes, and it was like falling asleep.
Damn.
That's how I felt. Yeah,
That's funny.
I do agree with Adrian that the pacing was a little off. I think they were trying to do a lot. Like, I don't know, the whole like Catwoman and her dad side story
Yeah.
was like barely interesting. Like it was like okay, she like grew up in this underground fucking club world, but it
Hmm.
was like I don't know. It was kind of uninteresting to me.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I don't know. The pacing, it didn't feel like 3 hours to me. I guess it felt slow in like a good way. Like they would take so long, or like take their time on shots and stuff, that it just made it feel so like brooding and cool to me.
Yeah, no, and like that's the thing that I've kind of been like trying to, I don't know, like appreciate about just media in general is like it doesn't have to be like all good or all bad. Like I walked out of this movie thinking like, wow, that was not a good movie. Like but at the same time I was like there was a lot that was good though. And like the
Yeah.
cinematography, like a lot of the shots were like really fucking well done. Like the car explosion scene where we see him like through the window kind of like walking up
Upside
like
down. Oh,
behind the fire and
so
like
sick.
just like
That
really
was
cool.
some bad shots when he's like fucking does a little bat suit flying off that shit. That shit looks
The
so
tracking where it was
terrible.
like mounted to his
It was
head.
like a camera,
That
like
shit felt weird.
it was like that guy who does the train spotting
Yeah,
fucking
it's just
helmet. You've seen that guy who like
yeah, I know
looks
what you're
at the
talking about.
trains and shit?
Yeah.
That's what it looked like. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, and then he just jumps off and then hits a fucking truck. And
It's
he
a
never
tr
got he never got bloodied until the very end. Like I was like,
yeah.
wow, this guy's invincible. But I don't
I don't know.
know.
That was another like. Oh, he's still new. It's so cool. He's not this perfect badass fucking superhero. Like I don't know. Just
Mm,
another more evidence of that. I liked it.
I
Yeah.
guess.
He's all limping
Yeah.
off. He's like, "Fuck, no one saw that." Right? Like, I don't know. It's cool. But
Yeah.
what were you saying? Oh, there was a lot of like mounted shots in this movie, and a lot of them felt really cool. Like especially like on the Batmobile, or I think
Bikes and
motorcycles and
stuff.
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
but like that one when he's gliding was terrible. Like it looked like some
Yeah.
YouTube
Yeah.
GoPro shit you would watch some dude fucking, I don't know, doing some crazy shit.
Yeah.
That
Yeah, it
was the
was
only one
weird.
that I was like, ooh, I don't know about
It
that.
was weird. Yeah. But okay, so like I don't agree with Adrian. I didn't walk out of the movie and was like, wow, that was bad. I was just like,
Really?
wow. I was just like, wow. I'm like kind of indifferent about it. I'm like not excited about this and I'm not like really pissed at it. I was just kind of like, okay, I
Okay.
don't know. I just felt generally indifferent like about a lot of it.
Isn't that bad? Like,
Uh,
you know what I mean?
uh
Like,
Yeah, making
I
you feel
feel
no,
like,
but
something
like
is
I'm
better
not
than
like pissed.
nothing.
I mean, yeah, I guess maybe it is bad, but like it's just like so middling for me. Like the performances, the writing, the pace.
mhm.
Um, I don't know, and you can't tell me that the soundtrack's good. Where's Kiss on a Rose, man? Where's this?
Dude,
It's not.
okay.
That's not better than Nirvana. I
It's
mean,
That's what I
not,
was
Nirvana
gonna
but for
is.
say
this
is like,
movie, it was really
Yeah, I
good.
know.
I
I
actually
know.
really liked the
The
score.
Nirvana.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
I
the
think
score, the regular
just
score.
in
Yeah,
general,
it was
yeah,
fine.
yeah, like just the actual like Batman dome 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 dome. It was
Oh, it
just
was
so
so
like
cool.
powerful. Like you
Yeah.
just felt that bass and like they kept using that same like riff in different tempos and stuff. I don't know. I'm not a music guy, but you know, it really really worked.
Yeah.
That's what I loved about it, really.
Yeah,
Yeah, that shit
it
was
was
And
so
then
fine.
of
good.
course, you know, Nirvana coming in was pretty cool, but
Yeah, I was surprised. I was like, oh, like in the trailer, I was like, that was really cool. And then they played in the movie, I was like, oh shit. They usually
yeah.
don't
Yeah,
do that, but they did it
dude,
twice, and it was cool.
and I'm gonna stop watching trailers, man, because like half of the trailer
Yeah.
for this movie showed like the coolest
All the
parts,
cool stuff. Yeah.
like all the like
Yeah.
actiony shit, you know,
Yeah.
like not all the
And some of like the
brooding
cool,
detective stuff.
yeah. Some of like the really cool, like impactful cinematography shots where it was like him walking through that water and it's just the red and everyone following him with the flare.
Oh yeah.
It's just like that would have been cool to not see in the trailer. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that
Yeah,
sucks when I'm watching a movie and I'm like, oh, that was in the trailer. Oh, that was in the trailer.
yeah.
Like this
yeah,
exact spot. And I'm like, oh, I recognize this background. When is this thing gonna happen that I see in the trailer or whatever the fuck? But
hmm
I don't
Yeah.
know. It was cool
yeah.
shit. regardless.
But yeah, so to go back really quick to the score, like that music, me and Taryn were saying how I kept humming it like and saying it the whole day. I was just like dome 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 dome. And then
Yeah.
I was doing it so much that I was just like, wait, is this the Imperial March
Yeah.
that I'm doing, or is this actually Batman? Because it
Yeah.
was like very similar.
Yeah,
Similar,
it's so
yeah.
similar.
Still great though. I mean,
Yeah.
definitely inspired by John Williams.
Probably.
Isn't all score.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. You mentioned the detective stuff. That was my favorite part. Like actually seeing Batman be the world's greatest detective, like he's always like coined as, is cool as fuck. Like him figuring out stuff, and like this movie wasn't super actiony, which was nice.
Yeah.
It's like he got to, he had to like figure shit out and like sneak into the nightclub and put the little contacts in and like like sneak around and shit. Like that was cool. I loved that shit.
It was cool. I think like it felt like a lot of this movie felt like it was teetering on cheesy, and sometimes I think it crossed that border where it was like, okay, this is cheesy. Because like you would just have like some grown-ass man in a bat suit like walk down a bunch of detectives, and he's just standing there like looking around at things like awkwardly. All the detectives are like they're like taking pictures and like talking, and he's just like awkwardly standing.
Like,
it's
hey,
like
man.
Robert Pattinson in the kitchen, like
Yeah,
it's awkward thing.
I saw it on Twitter. Is like this whole movie is just this, and he's just there. Dude, that's so funny.
Everything.
After I was like, they tried to make it so grounded that the Batman felt like the cheesiest part. Like especially at the end when it's like starting to be morning or whatever, and he's like carrying that girl over to the stretcher and stuff. Like everyone's just like normal as fuck, and he's just dressed up so dumb. Like, it's so funny. Like he is the weird part of the movie.
One part of the movie where like he's like laying down and all the cops are around him, and then he starts like fighting them off. He like fucking flips his cape at one of them. Like I'm like, oh, did you see that shit? Or maybe it was like he got up and turned really quick, but it was like this big old cape. I was like, oh my god, such a goth bitch. It's like, damn. But it was like, okay, so
you're the goth, bro.
Yeah. Black fingernails and rings and shit. But like all that stuff was like cool for the detective stuff, and just seeing like emo ass Batman walking through like the underground raves with all the lights and stuff is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Kind of cool. Even though some of it could have been sped up, I think, because he went back there like 4 different times. It was like, all right,
those fucking
dude.
twins.
It's like we kind of get it.
Yeah,
those twins that he
weirdly
beat their ass
funny.
like 3 times.
It was like so many weirdly funny parts of this movie, and those twins every time one guy would open and close the door, and they would just be 2 of them.
They would just come back. Yeah.
I think that was just like because it was so shocking that they were like so similar. Was that what the whole like joke was?
Yeah, they're literally twins.
Just twins. Yeah.
It's twins, man.
Just twins twinning, man.
The last time he just fucking, I don't know. He doesn't even try to sneak. He just fucking barges his way through.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't he go there? Does he go there as Batman and as Bruce Wayne, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like, here's this fucking idiot again. Like he's just not in his bat suit this time. Like he just looks like
bro.
I don't know. It's like how
it was strange like to see him shirtless because he's not like hella ripped like fucking Christian Bale was,
Because he's still starting, bro. 2 more years he'll be
like
ripped.
Terrence is gonna keep. Dude, 2 years is a long time, man. Get it together.
I mean, you don't know.
You hire somebody for a job and they don't have it together in 2 years.
He's a billionaire. He couldn't hire a personal trainer. Tell him to eat more calories.
Yeah, dude, Alfred has been training him since childhood to be a badass.
Yeah. How did you guys feel about that dynamic? I feel like they traded Alfred for the commissioner. Like there was like hardly any charisma between Alfred and Bruce Wayne. Really.
I
Like
don't
it just
know.
felt like such a strained relationship.
It felt weird until...
And Bruce Wayne was being a little bitch to him the whole time. I was like, fuck off, dude. You're not my dad. Like, fucking kidding me, bro?
Yeah.
I know I'm not. It's like, all right, bro, fucking relax.
But I am your daddy.
Just pimp slaps him.
I feel like the
What did
scene
you
with
feel about it?
this, I didn't necessarily like it. I don't know. Andy Serkis is just like a weird guy, kind of. And like when they picked him, I was like,
What?
I
You
don't
don't
know.
like Andy Serkis?
I don't know. He's whatever. But like
Oh wow.
the scene with him in the bed at the end, the hospital bed, and that like little talk they have, I was like, fuck. And he's right, Robert Pattinson's like like filling it out, like fuck. I don't want to lose the people that I love, and he's just looking at him and like holding, like shaking his hand and shit. I was like, that was
Okay.
good. I like that.
So then maybe him being a little bitch to him was like part of the whole thing. Like he's like, oh, I shouldn't be a bitch. Should love my the only family I have left.
Should turn off this My Chemical Romance playlist.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and it also felt like Alfred was just kind of dumb. Like there's just like a mysterious package that comes to Bat, and it's just like to doesn't it say like to the Batman or something? And it's just some like very suspicious box, and Alfred's like, well, let me just shake it and like fucking open. I don't know. It feels like it just feels like Alfred is just a very intelligent, you know, very proper guy.
I mean,
That scene just felt so weird that he.
if it felt kind of funny is like he like kind of is his father. He's like, all right, let me open his mail because he's not gonna do it. Like it's like
Um,
his fucking medical
Maybe.
bills or something. Like this guy's not gonna
yeah,
fucking. I don't know.
like, I'm sure this
I
is
did
fine.
actually really like his involvement with the detective parts where he was like figuring out the cipher just like on his free time, drinking his coffee with the newspaper and shit or whatever. Like that was cool. I
Mm,
like how
yeah,
involved he was in that stuff.
yeah,
Yeah, I can see that. But it still felt the strained relationship. It felt like between Batman and Commissioner Gordon, they cared about each other for some weird ass reason, you
Yeah, I was
know?
like, what happened
Like they like
before the movie
cared.
that they're so
I don't know.
close?
Yeah. Like they were just like bros.
Yeah.
And then he actually sucks the shit out of him. I was like, damn.
yeah.
So man, you could have held back a little. It's like I
Yeah, you could
did.
have pulled your plug.
Yeah.
I did.
I
Well,
did.
so is it
I
in?
did. Oh yeah, but he doesn't do a voice. He just
He
whispers. You
he
can't
just
fucking hear
whispers, which
shit.
I kind of. Could you imagine if he did the voice too, like on top? Because the voice is probably one of the worst things about Christian Bale's Batman. It's like that's the most cheesy part I think about it.
Yeah.
Um,
Where's the
I don't know. Everything
drugs?
else I think was great. Yeah, you just proved in Gotham City. Like it's just like it's so exaggerated.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
what was I saying about? Oh shit, I lost my train. Oh, so Commissioner Gordon, is it because in the Gotham series, like Commissioner Gordon was the one who he was just like a police officer, maybe detective, who went to the call of Bruce Wayne's parents being killed, and he
Uh-huh.
was the one to like comfort him as a child, So I don't know if that's like canon in the Batman universe, or if that was just something that Gotham put in there. But
Hmm.
if it was, I mean, then that's like the show Gotham kind of develops their entire story, and so maybe that's why they have a strong relationship is because they've kind of known each other.
It's like
But
almost fatherly in a way, right?
does Gordon know Batman is Bruce Wayne? Like in this?
In this movie?
No.
No.
No, right?
That's what he
Okay.
says something about that. He's like, man, I trust you, but you won't even tell me who you are. Some shit like
Oh,
that.
okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So then that's
Yeah.
not canon then from the other.
And then they played around with like whether or not the Riddler knew. You thought for sure he knew, and then all of a sudden he like backtracked, and then it didn't seem like he knew.
Oh, and they're in
Was
like between the window or whatever.
The window
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
Bruce Wayne, that shit.
yeah.
Yeah, at first it felt like he was kind of like poking at him, like,
Hmm.
is it
Yeah,
is it
he's like,
you?
I know who you are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was cool. But then also like, are there cameras? Do people hear him saying that?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Like he's
Yeah,
fucked,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah. Yeah. Hmm. I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh, one more thing about Gordon. I love. Oh shit, what's his name? Oh my god, blanked it right. I was gonna say it. Jeffrey Wright as
Jeffrey Wright.
as Gordon was honestly fucking amazing. Like, I loved his Gordon. It was so cool.
Very
Yeah.
good.
Like the way he would
Oh
kind
yeah, it
of
was
stick
good.
up for himself, like a little, like He wasn't just like, whatever, just do whatever. Like he would actually like, give him shit and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, he did his performance was really good. And like cuz it was like Batman was the weird friend that he's bringing into the group that he's just like, guys, come on.
He's
Like he's a
fine.
little weird, but like he's
Pretty
cool. He's
cool.
cool. And then Batman's just like Robert Pattinson standing in the kitchen. Yeah, it was I don't know. Oh man. It's hard to take seriously sometimes.
Yeah. But I
It's-
mean, yeah, Batman's a goofy character through and
Yeah.
through.
He is. Yeah.
And that's what was weird is like, so they tried to make like the Riddler like super grounded, like by making him like this internet terrorist, right? Like this,
Ugh, that shit gives me the creeps, dude. I hate
like
it.
this incel kind of
Yeah.
like kind of guy that's on the internet, like.
Yeah.
And then that's what was kind of annoying about the Riddler is that it was basically the same thing as the Joker, where like the Joker like spawned these copycats, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's the same exact.
And so I was like, we already saw this. I was like, how are we gonna? And I know they're not the same world or anything, but I was just like, we saw this just like a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
So like when the whole thing at the garden happened, like I was like, all right, okay. I like the flood shit. That was pretty badass, actually.
Yeah, that was
It
cool.
was pretty cool. I wonder if that's actually possible.
I mean, Gotham.
Maybe in, like-
NSA just like are like, watch out for this guy.
Maybe in like places that are isn't New Orleans like below sea level or some
Yeah,
shit?
they're like in a bowl.
Yeah.
That's why they got so fucked by it.
Yeah, by Hurricane Katrina.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably there.
I
Watch
didn't know
out
New
for any
York was
Riddler.
like that.
Is it too? Oh, Jesus.
Oh.
Oh.
I don't know.
Well, I don't know.
But yeah,
What'd you guys
Or
think
not
about
too much.
Gotham in general?
that was cool. It's like New
Um,
York City with all this like the Gotham stuff put on top of it.
Yeah, it was like
it
very
was
New
dope.
York. It was cool. I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing that took me out was the Gotham Square Garden. I was like, just
No,
do
man.
something else.
The
Like,
garden, dude.
I know,
The
but it
garden.
just feels weird.
How are the Knicks supposed to get money to get a good team, man? That's what they gotta do. They
Man,
gotta
they ain't using it
they
on
gotta
that.
sell they gotta sell the rights to get money to pay players. No, they don't need that. But yeah, I don't know. I liked it because I like that shit. I liked it. I like Madison
The
Square
New York
Garden. I
counter
was
goes
like,
up
that's
a
cool.
tick for our podcast.
Yeah. What did you guys think of Colin Farrell?
Incredible.
I didn't even know that was Colin Farrell, dude. I
Yeah.
had no idea.
I
It
love
was
telling
fucking
people
cool.
that. I told Nader after we watched, and he's like, "What the fuck?" Like he's just so shocked. I'm like, "Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
it's so good."
Yeah, Jackson didn't know either.
His
Yeah.
voice was like perfect. I loved his accent. His acting was hilarious. I loved it.
Yeah. He didn't do the penguin laugh though, which made me sad.
Uh,
Wah, 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 wah. Like it's like
But I feel like, dude, like with the Batman, there's always everyone's trying to do a laugh, especially at the end of the movie.
oh
When
god.
somebody does a specific laugh
Dude.
that's totally fucking trash. Everyone, so that's probably why he was like, I'm not gonna do a laugh because I don't
I'm
want
not
to get
doing
like
the fucking penguin laugh.
he's
alright?
like, I'm gonna get like, he's probably everyone on the forums are gonna be ripping
Gonna
his
get
ass,
roasted. Yeah.
But he did perfect otherwise. Like
Yeah, that's
he was one of my favorite parts of it,
Oh,
even
for
though
sure.
some of his stuff kind of drug on, but like I don't know, that whole middle plot was kind of weird
when they
between
have
the
him on
rat
the
and
roof.
everything.
That show's funny as fuck.
Yeah,
yeah.
and the car scene. The car scene was fucking.
So cool.
Yeah, what'd you guys think of the Batmobile?
It
I
was
liked
badass.
it a lot.
It
It
was
was fucking
cool.
sick. And it was cool because they definitely were just like, let's just make it old school, right? Like, let's just make it not,
It's like more
Christian Bale's
homebrew
fucking
than that shit. Yeah.
Tron ass racer thing, like
Yeah.
whatever the fuck,
Yeah.
It was
Just
just like a
car.
souped up old school car.
Yeah.
which
Just
was
like
cool.
this guy's crazy. Like that shit. Yeah, but they show that all in the trailer. So
Yeah.
I mean, it was badass, but it was
They added,
still.
or there was a lot more like driving shit that was cool. Cause I was like,
Yeah.
how the fuck? Like, cause like he ramps out of the fucking fire in the trailer. I'm like, damn, how are they gonna get to that point? Like, that's what I was looking for in the movie.
Oh yeah.
And he just ramps off some random shit. I was like, all right.
Yeah, it was just like the GTA ramp, like
yeah. Like
yeah.
perfectly placed. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That was another thing. Like the Penguin, it's like his like moniker for like the gang or whatever, and he doesn't have his little pole like what is it called?
Yeah, his
Cane.
cane.
None of that
Yeah.
shit. Like it's just like so grounded, which is fine. And then the Batman is just there looking fucking weird. Like I don't know. It just added up so much.
Yeah. Dude, how hard would it be to have him walk with the cane? You know? Little limp. Been
Yeah,
through some
but
shit.
like, what if he shot shit out of it? Then it'd be like, oh god, that cheesy.
Yeah, I guess that's true. He still could have had it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Doesn't he have a hat too? Isn't it like a top hat thing?
Yeah, and a monocle.
Riddler
Yeah.
had a hat too. No?
I
Oh
mean, he had
yeah.
a green suit too.
Who had a green like pinstripe suit, like
What
yeah.
did you think of his fucking like Leatherface ass head?
It was good. It was creepy. I liked it.
Yeah. It,
And then he was just some guy under
well,
it.
yeah.
It's the scariest
I
part,
mean,
bro. Any little fucking nerd do this weird
yeah,
shit.
so I saw that like he was getting a lot of inspiration from the Zodiac Killer,
Right.
Matt Reeves,
Mm.
which yeah, I mean like just a real person who's a creep, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ted Cruz. Um,
By the way.
yeah.
Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz.
Oh god. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It felt, and like that's the thing is, so when you have somebody who's gonna be a villain in Batman, it's just inevitably gonna be compared to Heath Ledger, right? Like, and I've
Yeah.
already seen things like, oh, like this is the best villain in Batman since Heath Ledger, and it's like I don't know, like what
In movies,
was it?
probably. I mean, we got Bane.
I don't know.
And
Bane
that's
was
kind
way
of it.
cooler than the Riddler.
Talking, you're saying this Riddler is the best villain, like that we've seen
Since Heath
since
Ledger.
like
In a Batman
it
movie.
in a Batman movie. I thought you were
Well,
saying in all movies. I was like,
yeah,
that's
Oh, Jesus,
insane.
no.
I was
but I
like,
guess also,
Jesus Christ. I was like,
yeah,
holy fuck.
I guess
Oh my
also like
God.
how many are there that we
Yeah.
can count, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I
Bane.
haven't seen
And we skipped over
the
all
recent.
Batfleck.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of those. I don't even know if they have villains. Isn't it like all Superman and shit too?
Yeah, I
Oh, I
thought it
guess
was like
fucking no, because he's not.
Batman
Jared
Lex
Leto's
versus
not even
Luthor.
in those movies, is he? It's like
Who?
just Jared Leto as the Joker. That's like a whole other movie without Batman, isn't it? So he's not
Yeah.
even.
Right. Yeah.
Are there any Batman villains in those movies? I guess not. I don't know.
Isn't Lex Luthor in like
Superman
the
hero,
whole?
their villain.
Yeah, but like the whole like I don't know. Maybe that's just Superman
Fucking no, dude.
because they have like the whole what is it called? The fucking movies they did with like Batman versus Superman, or it was literally just them too, right? I guess
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen him.
I haven't seen him either. I'm sure they have to like come together to fight a greater evil.
Oh
Like,
yeah, no, they do for sure. Probably.
yeah,
Oh yeah, they do.
but
I don't know.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think to just okay. So we talked a little bit about the laughing scene with Two-Face, right? The guy next to him.
Two-Face. That's a Joker,
Was
my dude.
didn't he have
Also-
his fucking face?
No, it's a Joker.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that. I was asleep, I guess.
No, I thought it was
That was
too
the
because I was like, the way
Because
he's
I thought
talking,
his
I'm like,
half of his face was it was the scar, right?
Yeah.
That maybe that's what I saw. That was
and it's the guy from. Oh God, what is he in? He's in the Green Knight and Eternals. Have you guys even seen those movies? You've seen
Yes,
the Green
he's the young kid
Yeah, I was like,
in Eternals.
interesting. But also like, what
Is
if
he
we
in the
didn't do the Joker
Caster?
every 2 years? That'd be cool too.
Yes.
yeah.
Like it is
I heard
probably
they're
the
trying
best
to recast him already though.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I don't know. The Joker is one of the best films of all time in anything, especially in Batman. But like, give it a fucking break. Like, let's get
Yeah.
Two-Face back or whatever. Like, Scarecrow, something,
Freeze.
something else.
Yeah.
Like the Penguin was
agree.
cool to see again. Riddler was a cool like main villain, like choice for that. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
there's plenty of shit to go off of.
I don't know.
Well, they
But
already
then-
did Scarecrow and Mr. Freeze. I mean,
Oh no, that's what. Yeah, Matt Reeves was saying he wants to do Mr. Freeze, but I don't know if he is. That would be really cool.
let's get Arnold back again, dude. Imagine. Nice to meet you.
Because
You
dude,
say you need to chill out.
because the Mr. Freeze episodes of the Batman animated series are like so fucking good. Like, like not even as Batman things. Like they're just really good episodes of TV. Like they could do something really
He's
cool
like
with
another
them.
one. He's
Yeah.
another one of those villains that are like
He's
sad
just trying to
background,
save his
right?
wife, and
Yeah.
Yeah, he's trying to like cryogenically freeze his wife until technology can cure her of her terminal illness, right? It's
yeah,
like the
That was pretty
story
dope.
behind Mr. Freeze. Just cool. Dude, okay, and then Scarecrow would be interesting too, because like I don't know the backstory to Scarecrow in the comics, but in Gotham, his backstory is really interesting. So basically, Scarecrow's dad is like a coward, and like his Scarecrow's mother died in a fire, in a house fire. And the reason she died is because his father was too much of a coward to run up the burning stairs to save her.
mm.
So Scarecrow's dad is like trying to find a cure for fear, basically. And like he like
Oh.
kidnaps all of these people and like basically tries to scare the shit out of them to like extract something from their blood while they're terrified and then like make this thing and then he injects it into his son to try to like cure fear, like to make it so he's not afraid anymore, but it just backfires and he's perpetually terrified,
That's cool.
which is such a cool fucking story. Like
That's really
it's
cool.
really interesting. It's really well done too.
Yeah, dude, Scarecrow's
But they already did Scarecrow in a movie, so I mean, I don't know, just do it better. Fuck it.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean they're just gonna keep doing it until they figure it out. Until
Yeah.
everybody's just like, wow, it's the greatest thing ever. Yes, right?
We did it. We beat
Yeah,
Batman.
we finally figured out Batman.
Yeah, and like that,
Oh.
to go back to the beginning and we're, talking about Robert Pattinson as Batman, it just sucks because I feel like with some heroes, like some characters, they're the people who are born for the role, right? Like, Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, like Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. Like, I would argue maybe Tom Holland as Spider Man. You know what I mean? Like, it just really feels like, oh yeah, that no one else could do it. That just makes perfect sense. Just Batman hasn't had it, and
It's
maybe
Kevin
they,
Conroy,
maybe people would
bro.
say, oh, Michael Keaton or Christian Bale. I don't
What
know.
did you say, Taryn?
Kevin Conroy is Batman in my mind. The voice in the animated show and
Oh,
the
okay.
new Arkham games. Like he's just iconic, dude. Like his Bruce Wayne
Yeah.
voice is so good. Like it's really good shit. But it's not live action, obviously.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's a little harder to.
It's hard to solidify that.
yeah. At this
Into
point, I don't know if we
history.
ever will.
Dude,
Land him.
I actually watched the '89 Batman movie a year or two ago. The first Michael Keaton one. That shit is batshit insane. No pun intended. Like, it's fucking weird, dude. Like, he's so charismatic, like, too much so, like, as Bruce Wayne. I would recommend watching it. It's fucking weird.
1989 Batman. Who is
That's
that?
the
Is
Jack
that?
Nicholson Joker movie.
Oh,
And that
okay.
shit is also weird as fuck. Like, it's such a weird movie. It was fun to watch.
Yeah.
We didn't talk anything about the
Catwoman?
Gato woman.
Gotham.
The
I liked her a
Catwoman.
lot, dude.
You have a lot of cats.
Attracted to strays. Yeah, someone like the one-liners.
The
Like,
one-liners.
oh my god, dude, the thumb drive one-liner. I was like,
That shit was
I was just
good.
waiting for someone to fucking do the rim tap. But I was just like, okay, dude.
And the
funny.
Riddler, like, did you guys laugh? Did you get it?
It's funny, right?
Oh my god.
Good one.
Yeah, Zoe Kravitz did really well. I don't know, like there was just so much going on in the movie and then it felt like it almost went nowhere sometimes. I don't know,
Yeah.
I liked her story and like her backstory, but like I was like thinking would this have just worked better if it was just the Riddler and the Batman instead of putting in Catwoman, Penguin, and I don't even know the guy's name. Catwoman's dad?
Falcone or Maroni? Falcone, right?
Falcone.
Falcone, yeah.
Falcone.
Uh,
Yeah, Maroni
I
was
don't
it.
know. I
There's
thought it
like a
was
lot of
fine.
characters.
I thought it was good.
There was, yeah, there was, and like that's probably why the pacing felt so slow. I don't know. They just kind of were like trying to explain so much, and then a lot of it, like it felt like you kind of needed to know a little bit about the Batman universe, like beforehand, like who these like drug kingpins are, and like
Yeah, I could see easily getting confused with like what is it, Maroni and Falcone
Maroni,
and
Falcone,
yeah,
Oswald, the Penguin. You know,
Oh,
I don't know.
jeez, yeah,
There was a
see?
lot. Yeah,
yeah.
Just
See,
didn't understand.
yeah.
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 I don't know. I liked it. I feel like I always think about the villains like if there's too many because Spider-Man 3 had like 45 villains in it and it was so bad. But like having these two where it's like one main one and one kind of side one where it could be bigger later. Like I like
Talking
that.
about Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 3?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that.
Oh right.
But
Yeah.
that's how this movie felt. So there was a lot of fucking
Well, no, that's what I'm
yeah.
saying. Just
It
villain
just felt
wise.
not as good. I don't know.
Yeah, I just mean villain wise. Like having one main villain and then the Penguin as like kind of like a side thing to complement it, I thought worked really well. But yeah, in general, characters there was a shit ton for sure. I thought it worked okay. The only thing that I didn't like about Catwoman was like since like I don't know, I just felt like they were randomly just like hot for each other. I was like, what happened? I thought she was like,
Yeah,
she's calling that girl babe. I'm like, is this her lover? And like, what is going on here? And then she's just like, yeah, actually, I'm into Batman. I'm like, what the fuck? I don't know.
because the bat and the cat has a nice ring to it. So, like that was their chemistry. I don't know. The chemistry wasn't terrible, but
There's
it
a lot
was
of funny
Great
memes
writing. The
about
bat and the
Catwoman.
cat.
It was like, Batman way stronger than me, bro. I would have left Gotham for dead when she asked him to leave or whatever with her.
yeah.
It's funny.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yes. Respectfully, yes. Uh I literally don't know what else there is to say about this movie. I'm just like trying to rack my brain around it.
Yeah, I mean, just review it or what?
Yeah, you ready to jump in?
Yes, yeah.
All right, I don't want to go first.
I'll just go first
I'm
so you
not
guys don't
ready.
bring me down, right? How about that?
Okay,
All
go
right.
ahead.
I don't know. I really like this movie.
Sinking ship.
Go first to bring us up, Taryn. How about that?
Yeah,
There you
hype
go.
me
There you
up,
go.
dude. Hype me up.
This is besides like The Dark Knight and shit. Like this is probably like the best Batman movie besides like those big Juggernaut ones. Like it's not even close. Like what?
But like, if you're saying it's the best Batman movie except for all of the other, like,
No, except The Dark Knight. I'll say then. I haven't seen Batman
okay,
Begins in a while. I heard that one's really good still, but I haven't seen it in a
yeah,
while. But obviously, The Dark Knight is probably the best one. But this movie
right, okay,
does really good in a lot of fronts for Batman as a character. Like especially the detective shit. Like I'm so much more interested in a younger Batman that's figuring it out, trying to figure out when to pull his punches because he gets pretty brutal in this movie. Like later on, he probably wouldn't be like that, you know.
He freaking does adrenaline or whatever the fuck made him super
oh yeah,
serum.
His little gas
speed.
tank, pop it open. Instead of like an older Batman that's just like, oh fuck, man, I'm too old for this shit. Like I feel like it usually is kind of like like very much like experience and stuff. Like I really like this take on it where he's like figuring shit out still and just figuring out what he's trying to do and for the city. Like even at the end, he's like, oh, like I finally figured out what I'm supposed to be doing and stuff. Like I like that a lot. That's cool.
Yeah.
Um, I thought Colin Farrell's the Penguin was incredible. Like, like probably my favorite character. Like, his dialogue was so fucking funny, and like his accent was perfect. And
Hmm.
just use prosthetics, guys. They're trying to bring back fucking people in Star Wars with CG. I'm like, just fucking put prosthetics on them. It's cheaper and
Yeah.
looks better. I don't know if it's cheaper actually, but
Surely.
The score, that it's like a really good theme, dude. Like I fucking love it. Every time I would play, I'm like, yes, like I love this shit,
Yeah.
dude. As a movie in general, I didn't feel the 3 hours. I was entertained the whole time, and like I wanted more when it ended. I was like, oh, I want to see like more villains and like stuff in this universe because I liked it like a lot, like how grounded it was and stuff. Like, and then not like in a edgy, gritty way like they always try to make it. Like it just felt more realistic, you know. Um, hmm. Yeah, I don't know. As a Batman fan, I'll give it like an 8.5.
Okay. 8.5 from Taryn. Do you want to go, James?
Sure, yeah.
Take it away.
I don't know. I don't know if like I just went into this movie with allergies and I was just in a bad mood.
Yeah. That's like
Getting
what I'm thinking now too. I'm like, I need to watch it again.
getting blinded by every fucking dark scene, and then they just had flashlights blinding my poor eyes. Yeah, I don't know. I'd left the theater feeling almost nothing. Like I wasn't like overwhelming. It wasn't overwhelmingly disappointing. It wasn't amazing. I wasn't gonna like run and tell everybody to watch it or don't watch it. It just kind of was middling for me. I agree that the Penguin was awesome. At times it was cheesy, and sometimes I was like, okay, is this like the little bit of comedic relief because they were like trying to do this sort of darker theme, and it worked sometimes, I guess. Other times it kind of was jarring, I guess, just like between between the two.
Yeah, actually, I forgot to say that. I was like, this movie really felt like a comic book more than a lot of comic book movies do. Does that make sense? Like, it was like
Hmm.
silly in a lot of ways, in like a good way, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I agree if it was good in a good way. It was just a little strange to me.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it I think the funniest thing, or not the funniest thing, I think the best thing that was like revealed at the end was like the Batman realizing that he's no better than these copycat Riddlers, because remember when that fake Riddler is like, I am vengeance, and he's just like, fuck, man. He's
Yeah.
just like, this guy stole my whole flow, and
That's my line.
that's like the truth. It's just like, who is the Batman to say what vengeance and justice is? And I thought that was like kind of good, but it took them a long way to get there to say that. It took them a very, very long way to get around to like that kind of character arc for the Batman, for Bruce Wayne, like kind of realizing that he needs to appreciate Alfred, um, his family's legacy, because ultimately both sides of him, Gotham needs both sides of Bruce Wayne and Batman for it to get to this utopia that he believes in or whatever. I don't even know what Batman believes in. It's kind of weird. Like what's the end goal? Just like fucking pure peace, and like he knows that he's only one man, but like I don't know. Anyways, all that stuff's interesting. It just took way too damn long. Wait, just like my fucking review. So 6.5 out of 10 for
Six
me.
and a half.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
where I'm
Six and a
standing.
half.
It's alright. I wouldn't know if I would say it's good, but there are good ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. 6.5 from James. I'll go ahead and take it over. Yeah, I think Batman is such a complicated superhero, I feel like, because it's inevitably going to be compared like so harsh to what came before it, right? Like to the
Yeah.
Christian Bale, to Heath Ledger, like to the
Is
Dark
that
Knight and the Dark
controversial?
Knight Rises. Like
Hold on,
what?
Adrian. We got 5 gifted subs from Grumpy's Cat. Thank you so
I
much.
Oh,
know.
nice.
Thank you
Thank you,
for the
Grumpy's
five
Cat.
gifted.
I was like,
Is
what did I
that
say? Did I say some of these
no,
actors
sorry,
wrong?
no. Sorry.
Yeah,
Okay.
so no, it's all good. It's all good. So it's inevitably going to be compared to, what came before it, and I was like
Is that
like tried to
controversial?
make a conscious effort to not compare it while I was in the theater, I was just like,
Yeah.
let's just try to
Let
enjoy
it
this
be its
movie
own thing.
as its own thing, right?
Yeah.
Is that
But
controversial?
it was just so difficult to do that. I mean, again, I opened up with saying how much respect I have for Robert Pattinson as an actor, and like I don't think he did a bad job
Is that
at
controversial?
portraying Batman slash Bruce Wayne, but it was just like one of the most one-dimensional Bruce Wayne Batmans we've ever seen, and like
He's young, man.
that just I don't know, it just bothered me. It was like this is the same person inside and outside of the suit. There's no identity between the two. Like
And I hope if they continue with Robert Pattinson, they can
maybe they develop that
they
later.
develop that a little bit, which I
Yeah.
think I feel like the way they kind of hinted at the end is like he's starting to see, yeah, that his
Yeah.
worlds have to exist together
wholeheartedly
and
separate,
separately.
yeah.
Separate
Yeah.
but together. It's
Yeah.
like such a weird thing.
Yeah. I mean, but there was things that I did really like about it. I liked the score. Like I think it was probably my favorite like of any Batman that I've seen. Like just that I don't know, it was just
Yo, man.
it was just so bassy. Like it just felt so dark
Yeah.
and so like, oh, it just brought you in.
I
So I
want to watch
really,
it in
really love
IMAX
that.
just to hear that shit.
Yeah. Boom, boom, boom. It's
Yeah.
so, and then how they like continually kind of keep that same melody, but like change it slightly and speed it up and slow down. I don't know. That was done really well. A lot of the shots were really cool. Like, and I think they did a good job at like keeping kind of a lot of the old school. Like the Batmobile was really, really cool. It wasn't this like crazy futuristic thing, which I really appreciated. I don't know, the shots where like the Batmobile's coming out of the flame and like you just see Batman walking away from the fire or like see him walking with a torch in the red water and like there's a lot of like really interesting and cool shots and
Yeah.
I don't know, that was done well. Um but yeah, I mean at the end of the day it's hard to like leaving the theater I just kept thinking like this doesn't even hold a candle to like The Dark Knight. You know what I mean? Like it's just nowhere near it, and I don't know it. How do you not compare them? They're the Batman, right?
Yeah.
You know. I guess with all that being said, for me it was about a 6 out of 10. So let's see. That brings us to a 7 even
I like that score.
out of
So
10.
many
So like
sevens.
feel
7
like
out of
that's
10.
fair.
Yeah, that's definitely
Yeah.
fair. Hope Taryn isn't too disappointed. But
I'm really interested in talking to Matt about what
I
he
know, me
thinks.
too.
Um,
Because
yeah.
he really likes the Batfleck movies.
yeah, he
Oh,
does.
okay.
He's,
That would have
he's
been
one
big
of
interesting.
those
Batfleck.
defenders.
He's one of those defenders. Yeah.
Not,
You know,
not a lot of
and I'm
those.
gonna say I'm gonna rewatch the movie because
I'm
maybe
gonna
I was
rewatch it too.
just having a bad time. I don't know. And Robert Pattinson's he's worth the watch. I think
Yeah, he's worth
he's cool.
pumping up the box office scores a little more. Just go
Yeah.
see it in theaters again.
Yeah.
But yeah, that does it for us, guys. We rated this a 7 out of 10. Let us know what you think. Find all of our socials at filmfumblers.com. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. We don't have a movie lined up for next week.
We're gonna be in Washington D.C. to watch the premiere of our first short on the national stage. So you guys can follow us on Instagram and see some of the behind the scenes stuff we're gonna be posting there.
Yeah.
Our travels, us being very nervous before our stuff shows amongst other filmmakers
From all around the fucking world, dude.
all around the world. It's kind of surreal. I'm
That's
kind of
really exciting.
nervous right now thinking about it. But yeah, follow us there. No cast next week, more than likely, unless Adrian decides to. he's just
Put a
gonna
band of
he's just
brothers
gonna talk
together.
against himself, like
Yeah.
about some crazy movie. Yeah.
But yeah, see you guys next time.
Thanks.
Cheers.
Later,
See ya.
guys. Cheers.